Hey y'all, good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What's going on, you guys? Oh, yeah, y'all. I wanted to go live and put out some information. Got a surveillance photo of the murderers of young Dolph. And it's a very interesting surveillance photo, to say the very least. It indicates that this was a planned hit. That's what it indicates. We've got two people that are dressed in similar clothing. It's obvious that they may have got these items together at the same time. I would be interested on a even more close-up photo of their hats and their sweaters and the emblems that are on them. These surveillance photos were dropped by and have been confirmed by police at Makita's Butter Cookie of the killers that murdered Dolph yesterday. There is a lot of conjecture, a lot of talk, a lot of conversation going on, which is good. I'm glad for that, actually. A very intense manhunt is underway for these two individuals who shot and killed young Dolph yesterday. I see people putting alleged, like TMZ threw alleged into their titles. You know, that's the lawyer in Harvey. That is the lawyer in Harvey. This man went to go get some cookies, y'all. There was some cookies and ice cream. There's a piece of audio floating around that comes from Clubhouse that I'm going to play for you guys. Clubhouse is it's gaining a lot of popularity. A lot of rappers and artists and things like that are on Clubhouse. It's an app that sort of brings people together, and it's a cool little app. You have to have an invite to get in. One of those. I got an invite. It was last winter, probably earlier this year, January, February time frame. I caught an invite into Clubhouse, and I've been hooked ever since. But I want y'all to hear this audio. You know what you want. Y'all came in and ordered 3 shots of cookies and a cup of ice cream. He turned around, went right there by the door, and made the dude had already put up in a white top, the old man dog. He shot him with an AR-15 pistol and chopped him down right there. Y'all shot back. But he couldn't even get up to stay with me. He couldn't. Damn. That's what happened. Tell him, listen, I'm going to find me. Nah, it wasn't 2 cars. It was one car, behind a white car. Mercedes, you guys. Alright, but now it don't come up because they was next door to the restaurant. Yeah, they were at the dollar store, and they had a camera up there. And so, the dog had somebody in the car. But I'm like, well, one thing I will say, y'all don't always be on force. He comes with that shit good, so he'll go in the damn grocery store. I mean, not a corner store, a grocery store. Like you say, he was parked, like he didn't back in, he parked straight in, like that's how come. He parked straight in. Yeah, he parked straight in there. I think I'm at the post stop, I'm trying to finish stuff out the lane, or whatever, he up there doing right. Like a regular pump. That's him. Hey, what's going on, bro? What you got going on? He did this out of here. He gonna be out here with $200,000 with a $2. He ain't good. And just walk around like he $100,000 a year. Like, We got that brother over there for 20-some years. What do you expect? That's his neighborhood. He wasn't in another neighborhood, bro. I'm telling y'all. This man was literally from his brother's house we grew up in 2 miles. That's the thing that this man went up and down the street and went at that damn cookie store for 10 years or something. That's regular. That's like y'all going down to the bodega. That's the they seen him everybody playing 2 days ago. It ain't shit doing here. That's normal. That's a normal stock. Any store out there, that's normal. Dolph would put up at the chicken store and order a 2-piece snack box and eat it right there in the car. That's normal. That's just normal activity. Now when he go on the other side of town do this, no, he gonna do that thing, but he's at his own base. You see what I'm saying? So that's his neighborhood. So we'll see if he'll come big. Hey, look, I got the picture right now, man. They just sent me the picture of the nigga that shot me on the blue sweater with a mask on, a man at the top. I'm looking at it right now. But yeah, it just changed my phone, bro. They just sent me the picture. He got shot by 2 dudes. So one dude had a AR-15. I'm looking at he had a pistol. Other dude had a chopper. He had a Wow, that's so sad. Yeah, so both of them had on one had on the blue hoodie. Other had on the black hoodie with a mask. One got on gray and black tennis shoes. One got on white tennis shoes. So if anybody drop his number or whatever, bro, I do this shit to y'all. It's 2 young dudes that popped this thing. I'm looking at the pictures right now. And they pulled up right in the little bumper car right in front of the parking space. That's what they shot him in. Hey, yo, 16, I'm gonna ask you a question. Yes, sir. So this was this a lineup or this was just, he was just too comfortable when he went up in the store? I think he lined up. If you ask me, bro, I say that he was riding and didn't pay no head, no fine, because he came off the interstate, so I'm assuming he came from his house. And based on where it was, somebody had been followed. Yeah, they called him. They called him vulnerable. They just called him in the store. So if you go in the cookie store, you ain't looking for nobody up behind you. So they pulled up. They didn't pull in the parking space. They pulled up halfway, cop jumped out. They got on the COVID-19 mask and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a TikTok out. It was like his last moment. It was his last moment. Him at a gas station. I don't know if y'all saw that TikTok where he had pulled into a gas station and he went to the cookie shop or whatever. But that.
Okay. Police are scouring the city of Memphis right now looking for the suspects in the killing of rapper Young Dolph. The 36-year-old rapper of Young Dolph. There's a memorial at Makita's Butter Cookies. It's been ongoing all day today. There's been a live stream focused on the memorial, and there's been throngs of people that have brought candles, teddy bears, balloons, all that. I'm hearing that his wife has put a $500,000 bounty out on the streets, essentially offering to pay more than surely what they paid to have him killed. I think it's very interesting how that's going to go, because I'm hearing, dead or alive, $500,000 bounty on their heads. Let me show you this photo again. These men, one of the men had a black sweater. The other man had on a blue sweater. Both of them had gray pants. One of them had white shoes. The other has on black tennis shoes. White tennies and black tennies. They had masks over their faces, which is sort of the standard these days, which is kind of a scary thing, because that was one thing I just heard people say that over the last few months or whatnot, about how people are walking around with masks on, and how that could lead to more insane crime because people are walking around with masks on their face. I don't know. I do know this. One of these men had a handgun. The other man had a Draco AK-47. They proceeded to shoot Dolph. I hear that Dolph busted back. He shot back. Don't know if any of these men were hit when he did bust back. But you know what they say, right? If you do a crime, do it solo, because you can never depend on the other person to keep their mouth shut. This is, Dolph was a huge celebrity, and he was adored. He was adored by so many people. Who's going to talk first? Who is going to talk first? We sort of seen how that played out with FBG Duck, didn't we? All four of suspects have been arrested in his murder and charged in federal crimes. They're facing entire life sentences in federal prison. It is so dangerous to be a rapper these days, isn't it? Get that photo out, you guys, to as many people as you can. I'd love to know what that logo on the hat is. Hey, Leslie. Hey to everybody in the chat. Street justice always finds them, doesn't it? It always does. I'm pretty sure there's other surveillance cameras, but police are releasing this information in little trickles. So, hey. Shout out to all you guys in the chat. I really, someone's gonna rat. You never, in the case of FBG Doug, there was 5 people that were under investigation by authorities, and one of those people actually shot and killed themselves. So when the federales went through and picked, those men up, very well-known men too, like we've literally seen those men on music videos with King Von. One of them, like I said, it killed himself, and is it that he couldn't live with the guilt of having a murder on his hands? I don't know, but that sure is a lot of people to commit a serious crime like that with. I couldn't even depend on 4 or 5 people to not tell any sort of secret. I mean, really, come on. Do any of y'all have 4 or 5 people that you hang out with on a daily basis that you would tell your most inner secrets to and not expect them to rat or tell, or or is it just me that likes to keep my secrets to myself? There's not even 5 people I trust in this world that I would tell my innermost secrets to. Maybe my teddy bear or my pillow. But somebody knows something. Exactly, Astro Kid. Somebody knows something. They're not going to be able to keep this quiet forever. Just know, to those out there who committed this crime or may have something to do with this crime, whether or not it's a higher level of person that paid for this hit to go down, just know, street justice will find you. You won't get away with this. You won't. And at the end of the day, you're going to have to face the maker. Hey, what's up, Generation X? Shout out to you. 5 people is way too many. With that amount of money being offered, it's going to hit the fan. Somebody's going to say something. Think about it. Like Memphis, Tennessee, you've got, this looks like a hit. And to me, this is just my opinion. I'm not a police officer, okay? This is just my opinion, but this looks like a hit. We've got two men that are dressed alike, masks on their faces. The way these guns are pointing down, I could just only imagine. But gray pants. They wanted to make sure they didn't get caught. And it would seem to, lead us to, where do they buy these clothes at? Surely there's a store somewhere that sold these hats and these jackets. I don't, it really, this is looking more and more like a hit to me. Who armed these guys? Who put the money and the guns in these guys' hands? Who had the most reason to kill young Dolph? It's almost uniform-like, right? She ready? Yeah. It's almost uniform-like. It looks like a hit. Where did they buy these clothes at? If you have a store anywhere in the city of Memphis, what do you got in your inventory? Do you have hats like this in your inventory? Has anybody came in and purchased any sweaters and hats like this in the last week or two? They weren't going to rob him. This was a straight up hit. Nobody's going to rob anybody with a Draco, I wouldn't think. Because that's a gun that kills, right? It's a guaranteed murder weapon. Willie. Bass Pro Shop. That, now that you say that, I do see that emblem on the hat. It sure is. So Bass Pro, man, y'all sleuthers are something else out here. Bass Pro, do we got any Bass Pros in Memphis? It sure does. Now that Willie mentions that dang sure does look like a Bass Pro Shop hat, doesn't it? Sure does. So to the Bass Pros that are in and around the Memphis area, start going through your receipts. Hopefully you still got your camera footage. Don't let anybody delete any camera footage or overwrite any camera footage right now until you go through it. And by the way, one of these sweaters is black. The other sweater is blue. These guys have gloves on. They have masks, gloves, and hats. You can see the gloves. This guy looks like a black glove. This guy looks like he's got on rubber white gloves or something. They were clearly trying to hide their identity. That really does look like, hold on, let me pull up the Bass Pro emblem. Damn, you got a good eye, Willie. Yeah, sure does. Check this out. Check it out. Sure does. The little fish emblem. And when we're in a camera, we're looking at something, it's going to be reversed. Just keep that in mind. But it sure in the hell does look like that Bass Pro emblem. Nice eye. Okay, well, I just wanted to throw that information out there to you guys, and I wanted to put this photo up. This is all we've got right now from authorities, and so you can see young Dolph's car right there. it's very scary, isn't it? It's quite scary that, and I, some people are talking about envy and jealousy and being a big star or celebrity in your town, in your area, becoming known. It's kind of weird. I know that, and I ain't no big celebrity at all, but I remember the first time that I was somewhere and somebody recognized me just from watching, my videos and stuff. And that was a very strange feeling to me. It was really strange. I could not imagine being like some big time like celebrity like that and being in a town where, I mean, this young Dolph had, was it 2 or 3 previous attempts on his life? He was shot in Los Angeles a few years ago. Like, there's been more than one attempt on that man's life. More than one. And I never, you never want to like go face to face with like jealousy and envy. It's almost crazy that people would even be that way, where they're jealous or envious of you, and that builds like a long-standing, simmering hatred in somebody's heart. But it's so true. It really is true, and it's scary as hell. It's really scary. Who hated this man so much that they would pay? Because these guys didn't do it for free, right? They didn't do this shit for free, okay? Astro Kid, I am too. But I can't say anything. All I can do is just keep my eyes open on things. I think that it's enough of a side eye where he's probably going to have to come out and make a statement. Because I think a lot of people are giving both of those men a side eye. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. The masks they have on, you can only get them at Home Depot or Lowe's. Interesting. And it looks like a paper mask to me. The ones you get at the doctor's office where they have them sitting out, for you to grab one, throw it on your face. But I can't tell from this angle, but that is definitely a Bass Pro Shop hat. Shout out to you, Willie, for even noticing that. Love you, sleuthers and sleuthettes, man. You guys are awesome. We are at Crimes and Justice Sector, Sam. We totally are. We are. But yeah. No COVID-19 mask. Yeah, I think with COVID-19, you would have to get an even stronger mask. Oh, don't let me forget this. Mercedes. My understanding from my research is that was a Mercedes that carried these men to this crime scene where they pulled off in this Mercedes. That's interesting too, isn't it? Not Memphis. Okay, I'm not trying to talk about Memphis, but let's look at the economics of Memphis. And how many men would be driving around in a Mercedes? Mercedes are not cheap cars, right? I found that to be very interesting too. Who did they rent this car, right? Did they rent this car? Did this car belong to somebody specifically? Because surely when they pulled up, one of those cameras had to have gotten a license plate or something, right? If they dropped a hat or a glove, they could get DNA. That would be great. And they can get DNA off from sweat. From sweat. Looks like they're wearing gloves. Gloves equals pro. Average street dudes don't wear gloves. This looks like a hit. A new white car. Mm. And you did hear that in this audio. Let me just this was actually really good. Let me this Clubhouse audio is going all around. Hey, Third Eye, the little purple life. Much love, baby. Much love. I love your photo, by the way.
That's what happened. Listen, I'm gonna let you find me. It was two cars. It was one car, the guy in the white car. And they don't know exactly who it is. So, but now it don't come up because it was next door to the
everybody got Mercedes these days.
The dollar store, and they had a camera up there. And so, it was Dolph had somebody in the car with him. But I'm like, one thing I will say, Dolph don't always be on force. He comfortable. That's his school. So he'll go in the damn grocery store. I mean, not a corner store, a grocery store.
Like you see how he was parked, like he didn't back in, he parked straight in, like that's how come.
He parked straight in. Yeah, he parked straight in. I seen Dolph at the post office. I'm dropping off sending stuff out the label or whatever. He up there doing line. Like a regular cop. That's him. Hey, what's going on, bro? What you got going on? He did this about a year. He gonna be out there with a $20,000 with a junior on. He ain't good. Yeah, just walk around like $100,000 a year. Like, but then you understand, bro, been over there for 20-some years. What you expect? That's his neighborhood. He wasn't in another neighborhood, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all. This man was literally from his brother house we grew up in 2 miles. That's the thing that this man went up and down the street and went in that damn cookie store for 10 years or something. That's regular. That's like I went down to the bodega. That's because they seen him, everybody played him 2 days ago. It ain't shit doing here. That's normal. That's a normal stop. Any store out there, that's normal. Dolph would put up at the chicken store and order
Really, Southside. I can believe that, though.
Yeah, normal. That's normal activity. Now, when he go on the other side of town do that, no, he gonna do that thing, but he's at his own base. You see what I'm saying? So that's his neighborhood. So we'll see if he'll come for it. Hey, look, I got the picture right now, man. They just sent me the picture of the nigga that shot him. He on the blue sweater with a mask on, the man had a job. I'm looking at it right now. But yeah, it just came to my phone, bro. They just sent me the picture. He got shot by 2 dudes. So one dude had a AR-15. I'm looking at he had a pistol. Other dude had a chopper. He had a
Wow, that's so sad.
Yeah, so both of them had on one had on the blue hoodie, other had on the black hoodie with a mask. One got on gray and black tennis shoes, one got on white tennis shoes. So if anybody drop his number or whatever, bro, I think it's 2 young dudes that popped this thing. I'm looking at the picture right now. And they pulled up right at the bumper car right there in front of the parking space. That's where they shot him at. Hey, yo, XC, I want to ask you a question. So was this a lineup, or this was just, he was just too comfortable when he went up in the store? I think it was lineup. If you ask me, bro, I say that he was riding and didn't pay the no fine. But he came off the interstate, so I'm assuming he came from his house. And based on where it was, somebody had been followed. Yeah, they called him. They called him vulnerable. They just called him in the store. So in the cookie store, he ain't looking for nobody up behind him. So they pulled up. They didn't pull in the parking space. They pulled up halfway, cop jumped out. They had on the COVID-19 mask and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a TikTok out. It was like his last moment. It was his last moment. He had at a gas station. I don't know if y'all saw that TikTok where he had pulled into a gas station and he went to the cookie shop or whatever. But that's
Murders like this, It's so heartbreaking. But listen, let me get my butt up off of here. I will continue to follow this case and bring y'all the latest, as I do. Hey, Gloria. There's a lot of people that have been, live talking about this. So just keep your eyes peeled and everything. And, Bass Pro, I hope you're going through your camera footage and receipts. This definitely looks like a hit. And again, I just out of experience and life experience, you can't expect a group of people to get together and do something like that and one of them not talk. So keep your ears to the ground. Much love, guys. I'll catch you next time.